Good morning, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I want to tell you that my contemplative time has been very much about implicit and explicit memory. So, explicit memory, just so you know, is more about the things that we take time to almost memorize. So, let's say you're planning for an exam and you know that you're reading information over and over again, or sometimes we want to remember some event that's happened in our lives and we remember and we play it over and over in our minds and we remember details about it. And if we want to memorize something, maybe we want to memorize a great quotation, as I love, but of course you might like a particular piece of poetry, or you might like just something someone had said to you that you're replaying in your mind. And most of us are doing this at some level in many different ways. You might even memorize your grocery list, right? Before you head out to get what groceries you want in a day. And that's an explicit memory. You have spent some time to think about it and memorize it and remember it and train your mind to have that memory. Implicit memories are a little bit more unconscious. And they are unconscious memories definitely shape our behavior and our reactions to events. Now, it's interesting that we can actually shape our unconscious memories once they become conscious to then direct us in a different sort of way. And of course, meditation can help do this. And of course, I found a few quotations for you. So the first one I found is by Siri Hustvedt. I hope I've said that name right. And the quotation says, "Memory is essential to who we are, and memories can be both implicit and explicit, unconscious and conscious." So this is the thing that I'd like to bring your awareness to today, that a lot of times in our life experiences, or sometimes, something will happen and really hit an awareness within us of, oh, this is making me feel not so good. And sometimes it takes maybe someone else to point out that, I think you're responding that way because of this implicit memory you may have had at this particular time. And this is certainly something that I learned through clients when I work through grief recovery with them. Now, this idea of implicit memories, the reason I have spent some time contemplating this, and I'll say for a few days, is because I did have an experience very recently where I actually saw a home that I used to own, and it was linked with a wonderful experience of creating a retreat. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. But of course, it has both good and not so good memories with it because, first of all, I'm not there anymore. But what struck me most is all of the good that had happened in that home because of this intention to create this retreat. I thought we was so fascinated by this awareness that as much not good had happened, so much good had also happened, which is so incredible to me. So then I came across another quotation, and it says, "We shape our tools, and afterwards our tools shape us." We shape our tools, and afterwards our tools shape us. So let's say that memory is part of our tools that we use. So our mind is one of our tools, and occasionally something comes to mind that either feels really awesome, and we think back to, why would this feel so awesome? Because I had that experience and that made this feel awesome, and I'm experiencing this again today. And more often than not, from what I've seen, the human mind likes to hang on to the things that are not so easy. So when something hits us from an awareness of, oh, this doesn't feel good, it's a tool to understand what has shaped us. And it's so interesting that when I'm working with people with first grief recovery to first understand our emotions, and then with brain retraining to understand patterns like this, and finally with soul evolution, and certainly self-realization, we recognize that these are tools that each of us can use and in our best life experience. So I was thinking about, what is it that's happened with me that has allowed this different awareness? And of course, I came across the best quotation that matched my experience This quotation says, I have gone from being my experience to being infinite consciousness, having the experience and observing the experience. And wow, what a phenomenal awareness this is. This is what I would love for you to sit down for 5 minutes to think about after this video, to see, are you led by your experience that this is the moment I'm in and this is all I know, is this is either good or not good? Or are you that awareness behind any experience, recognizing both the good and not so good that's happening in any given moment? Are you able to be that higher consciousness? And that is a wonderful place and experience to exist from, I believe. And if you look back on my videos, you'll see that I've made a video called Turiya, which is also known as the fourth. But you could always look at this a little bit more by looking at that too. And I hope today you'll just spend 5 minutes to see, are you led by these waves of emotions and awarenesses and likes and dislikes? Because that is our journey in duality. And you can see a video on duality too. But I hope you'll think about that. Are you riding those sorts of waves, or are you able to stand back and say, wow, I'm experiencing all of it, and I'm experiencing it through this form, this mind, this body, this form, which is different than the consciousness that is experiencing through this form. I wish you a fantastic day ahead. I hope you'll contemplate that for 5 minutes, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.